on a second. I got an error. It's weird. You see this? This is what I'm talking about. Let me turn the car off. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. So nice throwback intro there, but I also have some more videos. I'm gonna show some of the early videos I've done with coding. Unfortunately, obviously, you know, I don't have the X5M anymore, but I did do this car and I've received some comments, and I get these comments every once in a while, but I'm starting to see them more and more often. Can coding void your warranty? And answer is no. Coding alone cannot void your warranty. But before you click off the video and think, okay, you're done, you're free to go, listen up. There are some instances where you could put your warranty at risk. Most of the stuff you do is safe. Most of the things I show you is safe. Either someone's tried and true on the forums, and I just made a video, or there's some things I just explored just going through obviously the menu. And when you're going through regular mode on BimmerCode, it's pretty safe because the developers of the app have already sort of did all the background stuff, all the programming behind it, and all you're doing, you're just hitting do this, yes, start, and then the computer rewrites itself and you're going to go. When you're going to expert mode, it is a little risky, but if you follow the steps correctly, like I said, I show you when I do it, I show the steps correctly. I say, okay, this is what we're doing. You shouldn't have any trouble. Obviously, most cars should vary, but if you're trying to do this on a car that doesn't have certain features and you're trying to add these things, you could run into trouble. But the key to not having any issues, especially any headaches later on, is, and I always say this, is to save a backup. Always save a backup before you start. That way, if the worst case scenario, the car just won't run. Not saying that that doesn't happen, but let's say like I get all these malfunctions and the cars, go back, restore your backup, and the car goes back to where it was before you even touched it. So day one, start backup. Each module you code, save a backup. And the good thing is BimmerCode automatically does it for you. Now, when you go into expert mode is where some things could happen. Like I said, I tell people like, okay, be careful, but follow the steps. And a lot of things if I tell you, I try to make sure that it's okay. Here's where the warranty issue could come across. Your whole vehicle warranty, your vehicle warranty as a whole won't be voided. Meaning the brand new warranties, BMW's covered, bumper to bumper warranties, got the powertrain warranty and everything else. If I coded something, say for example, the heated seats, and now all of a sudden I added the seat heater isn't working. First, before the warranty could be compromised, BMW themselves would have to go in and prove to say the heated seat is inoperable due to the coding that's written into the car. Okay. Also, they cannot void the warranty for the engine or the rest of the things. So if I have an engine problem, let's say, you know, something goes wrong with the engine or the transmission isn't shifting properly. They can't say, well, the transmission not shifting properly because you coded the heated seats. You know, that's far-fetched. You can't say that, and they'll be pretty difficult to prove. First of all, I don't never go in there and say, hey, this is what's wrong with my car. I coded this, I coded that. First of all, if I have anything wrong with it, I'm restoring everything back to original, and then the car's going back, to the dealership in that case, because a lot of times they're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna rewrite the car and see what they can fix. Now, if I added, say for example, some cars, especially the non-M Sport cars, you can add launch control by adding the Sport transmission. If you added that and you had a transmission problem, they could probably point to that. But then again, thing with this coding is you're not really doing anything that the car wasn't already designed to have. The car, a lot of the features that you're adding in, the cars already have somehow pre-programmed through BMW. When they build these cars out, it's cheaper to just build everything out with the same features. And instead of having, okay, this car is going to be a US spec car, so make sure you don't include this, you don't include that, you don't include this. This car is going to go to Europe, so make sure you take this off, take this on. Now, there are a few things that they do, but there's a few things that they can leave on, and they can just simply deactivate during computer programming. And all we're doing is we're simply turning them on. So the car was already have it. So a lot of the times you're not going to have those issues. At the beginning of this video, I actually went in and I was showing on my wife's X3, her X3 M40i is 2023, obviously it's 3,000 miles, still under warranty. I had a malfunction with the headlights, and I wasn't even touching the headlights. I was doing something completely different, and I was like, why does it do that? So first thing I did was go back, restore backup, see if it fixed the issue. It did. Went back, tried to code it again. I think it worked. I think all I had to do was just let the car sit there. So as it does the coding, it cleared it out. But the first time it happened, I'm thinking, oh no, what did I just do? But I still in my head, I can always revert back to the previous. Okay. Now I received an email from someone, and I'm leaving their name off of it, but they said, sir, after getting everything necessary to start coding my SUV, Beamer Link, BimmerCode, and everything, I did the first change of flashing the brake light in advanced mode. I'm assuming export mode. He said he changed the brake force display, changed the brake force recommended, and folded the mirrors, and deactivated the warning noise for the seat belts. Okay. After that, started getting problems messaging about the stability control or chassis stabilization, parking brake, collision warning, and a few other things. So, took my advice, rerun all the changes back to backup, and deactivated the brake lights. So obviously the SUV runs normally for a day, and then they come back up. He looked for help. He reached out to BimmerCode. They told him it was because you went to the brake force display. Now, he was saying obviously some other things about me being my fan, and now he's in trouble and his car's not working okay, and I'm not going to respond. And I responded back, and I told him, I said, this is what you can do. I said, I highly doubt that. I said, did the car fall asleep during coding? You can follow the steps correctly, but I wasn't there. Like when you do the coding, I'm not going to be there to walk you through. I could show you the video and do it, but if the vehicle falls asleep or something happens, that's why it's recommended to put your seatbelt on. There are some things that could glitch out, but you can always go back. And if the car falls asleep, if the car falls asleep through any part of the phase, you could be in trouble. That's why it's always recommended to keep it on either engine running, or if you're not in the garage, or in a battery charger, especially when you're doing tuning. So I never heard back, but I just want to let you know, anybody else who is wanting to do this, anybody who's saying, I want to do some coding, just think about the first things as it doesn't, just doing the few little things like having mirrors fold when you lock the vehicle, or rolling the windows down and be able to unlock those things, you shouldn't have any trouble. If you start going into expert mode and rewriting everything and you really don't know what you're doing. You are running a risk, but if you have a backup, just revert it back. And I can't see why you couldn't get yourself out of that situation. Anyway, just want to do that video out there. I'm sure I'm gonna have some questions and everything like that. Like I said, I don't underwrite warranties for BMW, but I do know some, obviously legally, what they can and can't do as far as warranty. That's that same thing goes if you're tuning your car. If I tune my car and I take it there and say, oh, my turbo is leaking oil, the first thing they can do is say they won't cover that particular problem because that was due to me tuning it. But that doesn't mean my whole vehicle warranty is voided. So when I see that, it's not. Don't take it as your whole warranty is gone. You can lose your whole warranty. Just think about the risk you take on certain things. You may not be covered if you mess up and there's a problem. Meaning that BMW is not going to bail you out if you do it wrong. Makes sense. But they'll still, like I said, once you get past that problem. Say for example, if I go ahead and I was coding the seats and stuff. Well, that may hurt me for future seat coverage on anything else. But they can't do anything else onto me for if I need, something with the brakes, or let's just say one of the LEDs go out on the headlights. That's not due to the coding unless I specifically coded the lights to be brighter. So you got to think about those situations. That's the only time I feel like you put your warranty at risk is if you do something. Like I said, there's an option where you can. I don't know if it's for these cars or not, but I've seen it on. I know for the F15 and F85s, you can code the LED daytime lights to be brighter, the halos to be brighter and things. But those are also a risk you take. If you say, you know what, I don't want to take the risk, I don't want that, then don't do it. Leave it at stock. Wait till your warranty's up, or just wait till you be able to think about, okay, if I do this, I could have some cash back to be able to buy myself a new light in case that goes out. Okay. And last thing I want to say is, just because I played this video as a disclaimer, it doesn't mean that you're going to have problems. This is just a rare few times that you could come across that people ask and they're just kind of worried. And it's a good concern. I would never think that someone is that's not a bad question to ask. I just thought at this point I probably should make a video on it. It is not a bad question. It's a great question because you are doing something, you're tweaking something, and it is. I feel like it's a fine line of what you can and can't do. Okay, like for example, if I add more on the headlight washers, not saying that on the Range Rover I can, but say on the X5s and things, I can add more so the headlights get sprays on the more windshield spray on the headlight washers. I think I programmed mine to 3 times on my X5. Those things like that, it's not going to affect anything because what difference does one extra time make? You can't say that either. But hopefully you can understand the point. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. Up and down with the fob. So I added the longer tone for the acoustical lock sound. So here we're rolling the windows down. And rolling them up. I can close the hatch with the remote control. I increase the seat heating on my high, medium, and low settings. I've added the fog light with parking light setting. I added the headlight washer to do 3 sprays instead of 2. Okay, so what you'll need first, you'll need the OBDII adapter, this Bluetooth. I used the one from VPeak. I'll put a link in my description. I use this for a lot of my BimmerCode. Because if I were to be far away, he's like, oh, I think his lights are on. Or if I park the car in the sunlight, you won't notice it as much. But yeah, this is just my way until I get a Geo 5, or if I decide to go that route. You know, sort of updating